You guys are tuning in to the Game with EA, and today we're going to be doing another album review on.
Channel Orange by Frank Ocean.
So, Evan's going to start off by giving you his thoughts on the album. Let's hear
So
it.
Channel Orange is a pop record from 2012. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with it. And my opinions on this album are probably going to piss you off because I don't have the most popular opinions on stuff like this, but that's why we're here. So, Frank Ocean, he's a pretty amazing artist in my opinion. Blonde is in my top 15 albums, not even rap albums of all time. I think it's an amazing pop R&B record. And Channel Orange came before that. So we're going to share our thoughts, what we think of the tracks, Frank Ocean as an artist, and we're going to give the album like a score out of 10. So Nish, you can start with what you think of the record.
I mean, other than like the interludes and the skits on here, you got tracks like Thinking About You, which is revolutionary track. Like, this not even a pop album. Like, this guy's just a perfectionist. Like, he knows what he's doing.
It's
He
pop
like
R&B.
Like he's very picky with it. Yeah, it's like R&B. I still get some like indie and some funk vibes in here. Like, oh, what's that one
Yeah.
song? Pink Matter or Super Rich Kids?
Pink Matter has 3 stacks. That's more of an
Yeah,
R&B track.
yeah. It's more. See, like even Super Rich Kids. Like you got Earl Sweatshirt on there.
Earl,
Like
yeah.
this is a big step up from Odd Future, especially for like around this stage. Is like, oh, what?
Even Frank's
Honestly,
even Frank's breakout mixtape in 2011, Nostalgia Ultra. I think tracks like Novocaine, We All Try, and American Wedding are pretty great songs. But this album, he really took it to the next level.
he really
I think,
did.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
could go
honestly, he
on.
has legendary songs on this album.
I
Sorry,
could
sorry to
go
interrupt.
on for hours on how good Pyramids is. That's an amazing track. It's 10 minutes, but listen, if you listen to the song over and over and over, it feels like literally a 5-minute track. It's so well multi-staged and verses and the
Ooh.
instrumentals stacked on top of each other. It's an incredible
It's
track.
10 minutes? Bro, I've
It's
always been thinking
it's
it's like 7 or
10
6 this
it's
full
10
time.
minutes long.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
man.
Nah, you get stuck in that song. Even like, bro, Lost feels like it's like a minute. Like, every time I listen
I
to Lost,
know.
okay, Lost and Thinking About You are like, people will say like, those are the top 2 songs from the album in terms of like success. Cause like, everyone will be like, oh yeah, Frank Ocean, Thinking About You, Lost.
Incoming
Like,
hot take. Incoming hot take.
right?
Incoming hot
Alright,
take.
I'm listening.
Pyramids and Pink Matter are better than Lost and Think About You.
I agree. I
You think so?
actually agree with
You
that.
agree. Thank
I
you.
love Pink Matter. Three stacks,
Three
bro.
Stacks
To
verse
get three
amazing.
stacks
Oh
on your
my
album,
god.
you know how
You
rare it
made
is
it.
to
You
get three
made it.
stacks? Like,
Dude,
yeah.
Frank Ocean was in the mainstream for 1 year and he got 3 stacks on his album. And he
Like
dropped an
that's
amazing verse. How?
not even okay. Another
Like,
hot
dude,
take. Like
my god.
Forrest Gump over those songs too.
Nah.
Really?
Are you Pyramids? Maybe Pink
Yeah, Forrest
Matter.
Gump. Okay, what about
Maybe Pink Matter. But Pyramids?
okay, yeah. Oh no, not over Pink Matter thing. I'm saying over Thinking About You and Lost.
Oh, yeah, I think they're on the same level. Honestly,
Really?
yeah. Unfortunately, there are a couple tracks I don't like. I think Sierra Leone is kind of a dry instrumental,
No,
and
I love Sierra
I don't
Leone.
like Pilot Jones that much.
Sierra Leone.
Sierra,
No,
I
I
don't
love
like it
that
that
song. No,
much.
that's honestly like a top 5 for me on this album, Sierra Leone.
Really?
Like it's a highlight.
I think Pilot Jones is the weakest track.
No, Pilot Jones is pretty weak, but
I,
Super
like,
Rich Kids,
yeah,
that
the,
song gets
the
me like
melody
every
feels
time.
pretty awkward on Pilot
No,
Jones.
but yeah,
It's
you're right. I thought you were gonna say Super Rich Kids. I'm like,
No,
bro,
Super
are
Rich
you
Kids is a
tripping?
pretty good track. It's not in my top 5 from this album, but I think Earl's performance is excellent.
Yeah, I loved it. I feel this is like
Down too
prime time
much.
Earl. Like I didn't hear
Yeah.
Earl like much after this. I know because he got locked up or
Well,
something. But
some rap songs is pretty great.
like honestly, yeah, this is probably the best. Yeah, this is the best I probably ever heard from Earl. And Frank brought his A game on like pretty much
I think
majority of this
Nostalgia
full album.
Ultra, his vocal performances were a little weak on some tracks. Like the track Nature Feels, he sampled electric what's the song?
Cool.
That it's called the Electric Blue or something. Oh, Electric Feel. He
Uh,
sampled that song and he riffed over it. I think I don't really like that track that much from
but he
Nostalgia
also takes
Ultra.
his inspiration from Apex Twin and like Tame Impala was inspired by him and Apex Twin, but like Apex Twin
Yeah,
like
yeah. Tame
he
Impala.
mentions him a lot in this song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Tame Impala
Songs or
makes a
something.
lot of luscious, kind of pretty R&B pop instrumentals. Definitely Frank Ocean influence.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
keep in mind, Frank Ocean's first year on the scene, he ended up getting 2 tracks with Jay-Z and Kanye on a collab album. Like,
Yeah,
that's
Watch
kind
the
of
Throne. He
wild.
had No Church in the Wild and Made in America, which I think tours.
Two are two
I think
great
they're some of
songs.
the
Like
best
those are
tracks from the album.
no, they are. I completely agree with you. Those are like
It's a
some
guy
top
to a
three, top five.
non-believer
Like that's probably
who don't
Frank brought his A
believe
game. That
in
whole album, Frank brought his
anything.
A game.
Yeah, yeah,
But
for sure.
I know Novocaine was on
Nostalgia Ultra.
yeah, but
I think
like
that's a pretty cool track. I actually
I kind
enjoyed
of
it.
it kind of would have been more complete. Channel Orange would have been more complete if he threw it on here because like you can throw
Yeah, I
tracks from a
know.
mixtape on an album, right? So
Yeah,
if
you
he
could
did
do that.
that, it would have been more complete. But other than that, like the only 2 tracks like I didn't like we haven't really discussed so far are Sweet Life and Crack Rock. Crack Rock, I
Sweet
kind of
Life.
vibe with, but
I think
Sweet
Sweet
Life
Life
is
is an okay track. Crack Rock is pretty decent. I think the instrumental's fine. Like he's got those jazzy drums in there with the kicks. But I think Frank Ocean's set for more like R&B beats, like sorry, not Frank, Pink Matter and Thinking About You. Crack Rock, I think, is kind of a cool experimental track, but
nice. It was a
definitely,
nice like 1 to 2, 3 listens sort of song, but like when I
yeah.
look back on the album, it's not nothing like I would really like
But
say it's
thinking
revolutionary.
about every other track on here, this thing is pretty great. Like honestly, my favorite tracks on here, Think About You, of course, amazing R&B pop song. Super Rich Kids, Earl Sweatshirt, great performance. Pyramids, Lost Monks, Bad Religion, Pink Matter, Forrest Gump, all great tracks. And I feel like you should listen to Pyramids when it's 12 in the morning with your headphones on.
Yeah.
Like I did that when I was on a plane, and my God, bro, I got lost. I got lost in that song. It's so good.
Get of it all. But Lost is another good song for that song.
Lost is a great track. Yeah, yeah.
But
Little dun 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 dun.
for
Yeah, I
me,
think it's a cool
top
little
tracks, top
instrumental.
tracks are
Yeah.
Lost, Pyramids, and Pink Matter.
Don't you have other favorites?
This is top three. I
Those are
typically
your top three?
narrow stuff like no particular order, right? And I give this album an 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Again, when
I'll
I
give it
when
an
I
8. I'll give it an 8.
when I do my things, it's more replay value. Like what leaves behind, like no skips. Can I listen to 80% of the album without like trying to think, this is all right. Like I feel like this is a pretty much perfect album. Like take away the skits and like maybe 1 or 2 songs,
I think
right?
the
The skits are
interludes
nice. The
the
skits are
interludes
nice.
are fine for just joining parts of the album, but there's 5 of them. And we didn't need the tracks start and end. Like
No,
Thinking About You is a pretty good. It would be a great intro track if it was the first song on here.
it would
But
be.
other than that, I think this album is excellent. I think it's a pretty great R&B album, a great pop album, and it fits a lot of moods. When you're sad, you listen to tracks like Thinking About You and Pilot Jones. But if you're like alive, you listen to tracks like Monks and Pyramids and Sierra Leone, which it makes a good concept, good experimental, and this is the album that brought this kind of style to the mainstream. So overall, I give it an 8, maybe like 8 to an 8.5.
Okay.
And those are my thoughts on the album.
I
What do
love
you guys
Frank.
say?
I feel like Blonde
Yeah,
was better, but no, it's still a good album.
it's
Don't get me wrong.
both
Don't
great.
get me wrong. Still a good album. Still lovely album. We can do a Blonde review another time.
Yeah,
But for me, it's an
and
8. I'm gonna go with an 8 on this.
I'm gonna go with an 8 as well. That's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. Pray for a new Frank Ocean album, hopefully this year, and
Please
we'll catch
drop,
you in the
man.
next
It's been
one.
way too long. 6, 7 years.
Catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.
Peace.